सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै। श्लोका नंबर 31। अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष्य न विकम्पितुमर्हसि धर्म्याद्धियुद्धात् श्रेयोऽन्यत् क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते यदृच्छया चोपपन्नम् स्वर्गद्वारमपावृतम् सुखिनः क्षत्रियाः पार्थ लभन्ते युद्धमीदृशम्। Generally, after these two dots called visarga, if there is a letter ksha, then the two dots will be chanted as ha, sukhinaha kshatriya partha on it. So Bhagavan is showing to Arjuna that really there is no basis for sorrow. And Bhagavan is showing this from different angles. Like some doctors, holistic these healers. So they will try one way of treatment. If that doesn't work, second. If that doesn't work, third. They say, so allopathy, then homeopathy, then homeopathy, naturopathy, then finally Tirupati. So some pati will be there. In Tamil they write P-A-T-H-Y only. So pati only. So Bhagavan tried the most fundamental way of handling the problem of sorrow. And that is Atmajnana. It's like Ayurveda. He wanted to remove the problem from the roots. Ayurveda approach he followed. So it doesn't seem to have created immediate impact on Arjuna. Therefore Bhagavan comes down to the dharma like angle, dharmika drishti. First adhyatmika drishti or atma drishti, that did not have so much impact, immediate impact. And therefore dharmika drishti. From the angle of dharma also Arjuna, you do not have basis for sorrow. That is being shown now. And in the 31st shloka it was said, considering your own duty, swadharma. And in the last class we saw that there are two types of dharma. One is called samanya dharma, general duties and attitudes to be followed, values to be followed. That is called samanya dharma. Like honesty, truthfulness, they are called samanya dharma, general duties to be followed by all. And then something is special duties, vishesha dharma, depending upon the role you are playing. Like if you are a lawyer, lawyer's duty. If you are a doctor, doctor's duty. If you are a manager, manager's duty. If you are a father, father's duty. That will be called what? Vishesha dharma. The duties and values specifically followed while playing specific roles, they are called Vishesha Dharma. And as we saw, every role you play has got the script. So following the script of the role appropriately, that is called Vishesha Dharma. Vishesha Dharma Anushtana. So Bhagavan is telling Arjuna, considering your Vishesha Dharma, you are a Kshatriya, and as a Kshatriya, it is your duty to protect people from adharma. Kshatat trayate iti Kshatriya. One who protects the society from the wrongdoers, from adharma, wrongdoing, that person is called Kshatriya. So considering your duty as a Kshatriya also, you should not waver from this duty of fighting this war. Because this war is what? Dharmyam. Dharmyam is the war which is meant for protecting dharma, not for your individual gain. It is meant for protecting dharma. And for Kshatriya, there is nothing better than fighting this righteous war, the war for protection of dharma. And in the last class we saw this, that fighting the war happens to be the duty of Arjuna. But it is not that everybody has to fight. Bhagavan is not telling everybody to fight. Bhagavan's message is everybody should do what is to be done as per the role one is playing. In case of Arjuna, it is fighting, therefore he is talking about fighting. And in the next shloka, 32nd shloka, we saw that Arjuna, this duty of fighting this war for the protection of dharma is not something you have asked for. It has come upon you. You have tried your best to avoid the war, but you could not. You have tried sama, means all means of pacification. Dana, you were ready to sacrifice lot of wealth. Bheda, diplomacy, all this you have tried. But that has not worked. And therefore, you are forced to go to this danda. And it has come to you by chance, aprarthitataya. Without your asking, it has come. And anything which has come unasked as your duty, you welcome it as Bhagavan's command. And as per Dharma Shastra, if somebody dies fighting this war for the protection of dharma, and that too also as the last resort, then the person gets this Swargaha, heaven, Veera Swargaha. And such opportunity, Sukhinaha Kshatriyaha Labante. So only very fortunate Kshatriyas attain this opportunity. So it is a duty which is leading to the higher result even in other loka. So from the standpoint of dharma, punya papa you are seeing, then you are not going to lose, you are going to win. Means you do not have lose situation, you have a win-win situation. Bhagavan is going to clarify later on also. So Bhagavan says, Arjuna, you are fortunate that you have such duty. See, if some people want to serve, but to serve there should be people to be served. If you are living in a very rich country, then everybody is relatively rich. they are not having any food problem, etc., then whom will you serve? So when there are people, then they get the opportunity. Or there is a calamity, then Bhagavan has created an opportunity to serve. So in calamity also, these mature people will see it as an opportunity to serve. It is not that they create calamity to serve. That is not the idea. But if calamity is created by chance, then they see it as an opportunity to serve. So similarly, Arjuna, this is an opportunity to earn punyam and go to heaven. And here, by using the word Sukhi, Bhagavan, Sukhina and Partha, Bhagavan is suggesting one thing. That Arjuna, remember your mother. Arjuna's mother is Prutha, Kunti, and Pruthayaha Putra Partha. By using the word Partha, Bhagavan is reminding that what your mother has told you when this war was to start. There is a very beautiful shloka which says, Kunti is sending the message to Pandavas, Tvaya Dhananjayo Vachyaha. So Kunti is telling Krishna that you please tell Arjuna that Yadartham Kshatriya Sute Tasya Kaloya Magataha. For what purpose a Kshatriya lady delivers a child, that time has come. Kshatriya lady delivers a child for the protection of dharma. Her wish is that let my child protect the dharma even at the cost of one's life. That occasion has come. That is what the message Kunti had sent to Arjuna and Bhima through Krishna. That idea is suggested by the word Partha. Now, having shown the advantage of doing one's duty, now Bhagavan is showing, if you don't do this duty, what will happen? Because in any situation, we have two options. Either you do what is to be done, or you don't do what is to be done. So first Bhagavan showed the advantages in doing what is to be done. Now he is showing the disadvantages in not doing that. So that you have got clear picture. Because sometimes we have got one side thinking. Only we think from one angle. And therefore we have lopsided decision. So any situation is to be seen in a holistic manner. Not that we jump into the conclusion immediately. Parinati ravadheya yattata panditaihi. So we have to see the situation from different angles. So Bhagavan says, if you do it, these are the advantages. Now, what are the disadvantages in not doing? In the next shloka. Atha chetvamimam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi tatasvadharmam kirtincha hitva papamavapsyasi. Atha, on the other hand, means if you do not do this duty, what is to be done, chet, if tvam imam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi, if you will not fight this righteous war, your duty which is to be done, in your case it happened to be this war. I have been emphasizing this because people have got wrong idea that Bhagavad Gita is asking you to fight. Bhagavad Gita is not asking you to fight. Bhagavad Gita is asking you to do your duty. And if your duty happens to be fight, if you are a soldier, fight also. But if your duty is to bring peace between two countries, you are a diplomat, and your duty is to bring peace, then you do that also. So bring peace between two countries, that is your duty. But if you happen to be a soldier, commander in the army, and the enemies have attacked, that time what? Fight. It is your duty. So here Bhagavan says, if you do not do your duty, what will happen? Tataha, then, in that case of not doing the duty, hitva, having given up for second swadharmam, one's own dharma, means you will have dereliction of your duties. Swadharmam hitva, having given up your dharma, the dharma of a kshatriya, and kirtim cha, and this your honor, your fame. Papam avapsyasi, you will attain papam. Acha, what is papam? Papam is unfavorable, invisible result. Unfavorable, invisible result is called papam. Anishta, adrishta, phalam. That is called papam. People say, Swamiji, where is punyam? Where is papam? You please show me, Swami. The very definition of papam is invisible. In the definition of papam, one word is what? Adrishta, invisible. And this adrishta, invisible result is of two types. Unfavorable, invisible result is of two types. One is, which is the most popular one, is invisible result born of doing what is not to be done. Shastra says certain things should not be done. Don't hurt anyone unnecessarily out of your anger. So Shastra prohibits hurting somebody out of anger. If hurting is your duty, like you are a doctor and you have to, when you do surgery, some hurt will be there, some cut will be there, some bleeding will be there. But that is okay. But you hurt somebody out of anger. Shastra says, Ma himsyat sarva bhutani. Don't hurt anyone. Even by words, don't hurt. And if somebody hurts the other person, then it is called what? Nishiddha karanam. Doing what is not to be done. Shastra has asked not to hurt and you hurt someone. That is called doing something what is to be avoided. And that causes some invisible result. And that invisible result is called papam. In English, generally they translate it as sin. But generally we Pujya Swamiji used to say that we avoid this word sin. Why? Because the word sin has got some connotation. Original sin, inherited sin, etc. Therefore we are avoiding. But there is a word sin in English. And in Sanskrit we call it papam. And we explain the word papam and we use the word papam. And in India, I think everybody knows papam. In Tamil, different meaning is there. Pavam means he is a very innocent fellow. That's in that sense they use. But in Sanskrit, papam means invisible result of doing what is not to be done. That is called papam. Another example generally we give is Suram na pibe. One should not drink alcohol. So this is drinking alcohol is called Nishiddha karma. Nishiddha karma means prohibited activities. And if somebody does, then there is invisible result which is going to cause harm in future. People say, Swamiji, I drank, nothing happened. In fact, I enjoyed. People will say that. I enjoyed, Swamiji. It is your lecture I did not enjoy, but this drink I enjoyed. So people may say, what happened? It is invisible. Adrishtas. Immediately you will not see the impact. Sometimes immediately also. But generally it takes its own time. Like if some unhealthy food somebody takes, sometimes immediate effect will not be there. Therefore people don't feel. They see I have got sugar, I eat, nothing happened. Immediately nothing will happen. In course of time it does create some impact. So here it is invisible result. And it is anishta. Anishta means it is going to lead to some unfavorable situation. That is called papa. And one type of papam is the one which is caused by doing what is not to be done. Like even in our legal system, if somebody murders other person, murdering others is a crime, and if somebody committed, then he will be punished. There is another type of papam which is the result of invisible result of not doing what is to be done. Vihita akarana janya papam. So the papam born of not doing what is to be done. Dereliction of duty. Our local example we will give. If somebody does not pay the tax. Now he has not murdered anybody. He has not hurt anybody. He did not pay the tax. But still it is considered to be offense. And that is offense born of what? Not doing what is to be done. Similarly, in Shastra, especially Mimamsaka, they talk about this Pratyavaya Papam. Pratyavaya Papam is the Papam born of not doing what is to be done. And practically we do, even Vedanti practically accepts. Vedanti has got explanation for it different way, but practically we accept that the papam born of not doing what is to be done. So that is what is said here. Arjuna, you will attain papam. Papam of what? Papam of not doing what is to be done. And since Arjuna is relatively dharmic person, therefore he has got value for attaining punya, avoiding papa. Then Arjuna perhaps argues like a materialistic person, atheist. He will not, but if he argues that I don't care for punya papa. Many people nowadays they say like this. I don't care for punya papa. Who has seen punya? Who has seen papa? I don't believe in punya papa. Suppose Arjuna argues this. Arjuna will not, but suppose he argues that I don't care. I want to live with my parents, grandparents, especially grandparents, Bhishma Pitama, Dronacharya, and I don't care for punya, I don't care for swarga, I don't care for papa, anything. I believe in enjoying life. I believe in living with my near and dear ones and enjoy life. If this type of argument is there, then Bhagavan said, Arjuna, not only you will attain papa, you will lose your kirti. You will lose your fame. And this fame aspect, Bhagavan is highlighting in the next shloka. Akirtinchapi bhutani katha ishyanti te vyayam sambhavitasya cha kirtihi maranadatirichyate. And in the last look I said you will lose kirti. Means whatever great name you had, that you will lose it. Arjuna may say that I don't mind if my great name was there, if it is lost, I don't mind. Suppose he says, he will not say. Because as a Kshatriya, he has got great value for this name and fame. Because Rajasic ego is there. Rajasic ego means the status is very important. For them, the starving is not a big thing, but losing the name is a very big thing. And therefore, Arjuna will not say. But even if he says, Bhagavan says, not only you will lose your name, means whatever respect, dignity you have, that you will lose. Over and above, you will have ill fame. Means honor you have, you will lose. And positively, there will be ill fame. Infamy. Means people will talk in a very derisive manner. people will criticize you positively. And that idea is given here because Arjuna has got value for maintaining the kirti and not having bad name. In fact, most of the people have got this value. What? Maintaining one's name and not getting bad name. That's very important. In fact, many times the parents, when their son is not getting married, they feel little shy. They avoid social function. Why? Because parents will accept them. People will ask the parents, what happened? When are you giving good news? What happened to your Kalyana Aita? So Kalyana, Acha, Aita is Kannada. So, and this fellow is not getting married. So really it is a big thing. Or worse than that, this daughter or son married somebody of different community. And he was a Dikshitar, some very high, what is called Brahmin family. And therefore, he was so proud of that, looking down upon others. And his own son or daughter got married in different community, not even Hindu Dharma, different. And therefore, they feel so bad. Say they'll stop attending any even temple function. Why? Because people will ask, what happened to your daughter? Why? And especially in India, you can ask anything to anybody. We don't have concept of privacy. India doesn't have concept of privacy. You are meeting somebody in the train first time. In first time itself, you ask, what is your salary? So that how many sons you have, how many daughters you have, how many married, how many are not married, everything. In India, it is okay. Abroad, you cannot ask. In India, we can ask, do you have diabetes? In India, in other countries, you cannot ask. Are you diabetic? If you ask the foreigner, because he said, I will not take sugar. Suppose he says. So our Indian will say, aapko diabetes hai kya? We are not supposed to ask. I did not know. I thought it is just, we just would like to know that. So next time we are careful. We are really caring people. So, but people, they don't like. So you should not ask. And in fact, you should not ask about marriage also. The one person was telling Swamiji, he was working in UN. So he asked his colleague who was from some Western country, that how is your family life? He said, don't ask about it. All mess, So people don't like to be asked about all this. Whereas in India, now we are also becoming little privacy conscious. But otherwise, people ask anything. And therefore, these parents will have a lot of, feeling ashamed, not shy, feeling ashamed. Why? Because my name, our family, generations after generations, we had purity, and now this fellow or this daughter got married in other community. So how they have value? Arjuna also has got this ego. And therefore he doesn't want to lose your honor and definitely doesn't want to earn this disgrace. And therefore Bhagavan is telling. See, always one principle Bhagavan is showing from this. Always talk to the person from the standpoint of the value structure of other person. Talk to the person, your audience from the standpoint of the values they have. When I talk to the business community, I should talk in terms of how doing this or that will bring profitability. When I talk to the students, I should talk to them how will you get good marks, how will you perform better in sports. So always talk to other person from the angle of his or her benefit, his or her value system. Whatever value system you have, that it may not be suitable or applicable to other person. Always talk to the person from his or her benefit. So here Bhagavan is telling Arjuna from his standpoint. Bhagavan knew Arjuna because they were very close friends. So Bhagavan knows that Arjuna has so much value for having honor and avoidance of this dishonor. And therefore he says, Akirtim chapi bhutani kathayishyanti te avyayam. Bhutani means all living beings. Kathayishyanti will talk about akirtim, infamy, ill fame, disrepute. Avyayam, long lasting. Means not only now they will talk, generations after generation they will say that Arjuna came to the battlefield and they ran away. What happened? Some psychological issues, something. What happened? He ran away. So, permanent avyayam akirtim bhutani kathayishyanti. And Bhagavan draws Arjuna to one more fact. Arjuna, if you were a very unknown person, then if something happens in your life, nobody will notice. Isn't it? Ordinary people does some mistake or is sent to jail for a few days or something, it will not become a big thing. It will not become a TV news item or newspaper item. But if somebody who is highly reputed and that person loses his name, it becomes a news item. There was one editor, Akbar, if you know, when Akbar was there, and he became the minister also in the previous government, previous time, the Modi government itself, and his name came in, was involved in some controversy, became a big thing, and he had to resign from the cabinet. If ordinary person, whether he did or not, Bhagavan knows. But when is somebody well known does small thing, it becomes a big news. See, many people will be talking against community, against a particular surname, nothing big happens. But poor Rahul Gandhi said he had to lose his membership of parliament. Well known person. Ordinary people will be talking to each other, abusing each other so much, nothing happens. He did trouble. So Bhagavan is telling Arjuna, Sambhavitasya. A person who has been honored, Sambhavita means honored. For a person who is honored, Akirtihi, ill fame, Maranadati richyate, is greater than even death, worse than even death. That's why many people commit suicide also. When something happens which will bring down their name of the family, people commit suicide. Some people, they had a loss in business and they can really file bankruptcy. Nowadays, not a big thing. So they can file bankruptcy and they can survive. But some people, because of that, they commit suicide. Nowadays, people don't commit suicide. They go abroad. That's all. So that's what now they've got. Earlier days, people used to commit suicide because, when I go out, people will ask for money. What will I say? What will I say? They commit suicide. So the people who have been honored, who have lived their life of honor, for them, ill fame is worse than death. Therefore, they commit suicide also. So Arjuna, for you, this disgrace, the ill fame will be worse than even death. Are you ready for that? And therefore, fighting this war is good from dharmic angle, and now in this shloka, from laukika drishti, from empirical, worldly angle also, Arjuna, it is good for you to do your duty. Now in the next shloka, Bhagavan elaborates this idea of akirti, ill fame. Bhayadranadu paratam mamsyante tvam maharathaha yesham chatvam bahumataha bhutva yasyasi laghavam. So Arjuna may argue, Bhagavan, I am not running away from the battlefield out of fear. I am withdrawing from this war for higher cause. I want my relatives to be protected. So I have got the the well-being of my relatives in my heart. Out of fear, I am not running away. Then why should I get ill fame? Bhagavan said that is not the case. You have got very noble intention in your mind, but your intentions are very subtle, whereas your act is very physical, gross. What you are doing, the withdrawal from the war, that is physical, that is gross for everybody to see. Whereas your intention is what? Intention is very subtle. And therefore, what will happen? Even though you think you have noble intention, which is also not a correct thing, because this noble intention, so-called noble intention, is based on your likes and dislikes. You are giving more importance to your personal likes and dislikes compared to your duties. Still, even if we consider that you have noble intention, still people will not know your noble intention. What they will consider? Bhayad dranad uparatam mamsyante tvam maharataha. Great warriors who are having great respect for you, who look up to you, for whom you are a role model, for great warriors. Mamsyante, they will think, what? Bhayad ranad uparatam tvam. They will think tvam means about you as what? Uparatam, withdrawn. Out of what? Fear. So people will think that you have withdrawn out of fear only. Even though you have not withdrawn from out of fear, but your physical act will show that only. And many a times, especially when you are in public life, it is not enough that your intention is right, but the expression of intention also should be appropriate. They say, if you are drinking milk in wine bottle in public, you are a public person, well-known person, and imagine I have water bottle here. For water I keep a bottle which is a wine bottle. So if I take in between people, Swami, बीच में थोड़ा पी लेते हैं. People. So what I am drinking is water or perhaps milk. But where I am drinking it from wine bottle. Therefore what? People will conclude, and they have right to conclude. Therefore, when you are in a public life, not only you are right, but you should appear also right. Therefore, certain things, even though you don't have wrong intention, but it may look like that you have wrong intention, then such actions should be avoided by the people in public life. So, especially some act which can be misunderstood, even though you don't have wrong intention, but it can be misunderstood. So avoid that. So Bhagavan says, Arjuna, even you think that you have got noble intention, but people will think that out of fear only you run away. And yesham chatvam bahumataha, the people for whom you are highly esteemed, in their eyes, bhutva yasyasi laghavam, having been highly esteemed by them, you will attain laghavam, disgrace. Means people who are respecting you, very highly respecting you, in those eyes you will come down. And that Bhagavan is telling to Arjuna, because Arjuna has got so much value, as I said, for having good name and not having this bad name, avoidance of ill fame. And therefore Bhagavan is telling, Arjuna, doing your duty is proper even from Laukika Drishti, even from worldly angle. Even though worldly angle is not the main basis for doing the action, but Bhagavan wants Arjuna want him to do what is to be done. And there is no basis for sorrow. Therefore, he is giving this one more argument. And in the next shloka, Bhagavan says, what will happen in future Even you think that you will go to Rishikesh, you will leave this fight, this battlefield, and from Kurukshetra, Rishikesh is not very far off. So you will take some, not bus, or you will take some chariot, or you will walk down to, or walk up to Rishikesh, is up. And you think that now nobody will know, but he says, even when you are going for Bhiksha, people say, see, this Arjuna who ran away from the battlefield. That type of situation will happen. So don't think that running away from the situation will save you from disgrace. That is what is said in the next shloka. Avachya vadansha bahun vadishyanti tavahitaha nindantastav samarthyam tato dukkhataram nukim. Bhagavan says, Tava ahitaha, your enemies. Vadishyanti, will talk, will speak. Avachya vadan means unmentionable words. They will use different titles for you. Kliba, Shandatila. In Sanskrit there are words like this. Means one who is important. There's one who is Kliba, eunuch. That type of words they will use for you. Unmentionable words they will use for you. You have never heard such words for yourself. Such words they will use for you. Bahun, not one. So many the words they will use. And generally people like to criticize others than praise. You see, whenever two people meet, they will be criticizing others more than praising others. You praise somebody for 2-3 minutes and afterwards what? Criticism. Somehow people like to criticize others than praising others. Very few people have that mind when they like to see good things in others. Most of the people like to see wrong things in others, criticize others. There is a psychology behind that. Why it is so? Because in my own eyes, I am not so good. Means I am not fully acceptable to myself. I feel I have got so many problems. I have so many defects. And I am feeling very low about it. See, I am not able to get up early. I am not able to do japa. I am not able to follow this yoga routine. And I am not able to follow the instruction of my parents. So many things. And I am evading tax. So many things I am doing. And what is to be done, I am not doing. So, person is aware of his so many problems and therefore feeling low. In such situation, he wants to feel that I am not alone. See, when you get up late, you see somebody sleeping, you feel good. Because you are early. So this is human mind. So without having this growth, you want to feel good. You don't want to work hard to get out of your defects. You should work for removing the defects in yourself, but you don't want to work hard because it's painful. Growth is always painful. Remaining in comfort zone, you cannot grow. Therefore, growth is painful. And one doesn't want to undergo the pain. Therefore, what shortcut is what? Shortcut is you criticize others. And get some feeling what? I am not alone who is not getting up early. I am not alone who is not doing what is to be done. So you feel psychologically, you feel some solace. Therefore, you observe this. Most of the time, people criticize. That seems to give them some psychological benefit, psychological health. All are like this. You want to feel what? All are like this. So I am not an exception. I am not the only one who does this or doesn't do that. So here Bhagavan says, Bahun avachya vadan vadishyanti. So people will criticize and they will be very generous in criticizing you. In praise, we are very, very miserly. Especially in India, we have this problem. We don't praise people directly so easily. Parents especially, they don't praise their children. Teachers don't praise their students. Very rarely it happens. And their thinking is what, they have got noble thinking, which is little bit wrong thinking. They think that if we praise, they will become arrogant. So if I tell my son, you are good, so he will be very arrogant, so he will not study well. So I have to tell what? You have to do better. So you got 97 only? Next time 100. Do better. Study well. So the child really feels loser. However much he tried, 97 is not a small thing. So they put them down. Inside they are feeling happy, but outside they will show that my son can do better. That is what. And therefore they don't praise children. And therefore children always have a feeling that my parents do not like me. My parents do not value me so much. They may love me, but they don't respect me or they do not esteem me well because they don't praise. And even with children, not only with children, even with others, I have seen most of the people, they will show what is not right. Hardly they will say what is right. Anything you see, any project you do, even cooking, good cooking, you are doing. What you have not done well, that will be pointed out. Out of 6 items, in 1 item salt was little less according to that person. That will be pointed out. But 5 items are done well, very rarely people will say. So one lady told her husband, he said, I am doing every day so well, you never tell. Only when I do some mistake, only you tell. He said, what is there in telling what is right? That is what you are supposed to do. So, it's a lose-lose situation, So, Bahun Vadishyanti. So, people have this. And therefore, Arjuna, people will be very generous in criticizing you. And Tava Samarthyam Nindantaha Avachyavadam Swadishyanti. They will be criticizing your capacity. That Arjuna, he was fighting, but when the main war, D-Day came, he ran away. For small fights, he was very, very brave. So many other fights he had, but when the main one came, he ran away. And therefore, Arjuna, you will have to face such situation. And Bhagavan says, Tato dukkha taram nukim. What is more painful than that for you? Imagine, what would be more painful than this? To face the criticism, disgrace, people talking ill of you, wherever you go. How painful it would be. What can be more painful than that, Arjuna, for you? When you are a very honorable, respectable person in the society. And therefore, Arjuna, even from Laukika Drishti, even from Vyavaharika Drishti also, Arjuna, don't run away from this war. So, Adhyatmika Drishtya, from the standpoint of Atma Anatma Viveka, there is no basis for sorrow, there is no basis for running away. From Dharmika Drishtya, what you are doing is your duty. And running away from this war is a dereliction of duty. So from the angle of Dharma also, Arjuna, you do not have basis for sorrow, you do not have basis for running away. And even from Laukika Drishti, it is not good for you to run away, because if you run away, you will lose your honor and positively you will attain disgrace, you will get ill fame. And therefore, what is right thing? Right thing is doing what is to be done. And if you do what is to be done, you will have a win-win situation. That is what is said in the next shloka. Hato va prapsyasi swargam jitva va bhokshase mahim tasmaduttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nishchayah. So Arjuna was in a very depressed mood. where he was feeling a lose-lose situation. Lose-lose situation means what? If I fight this war, I'll be losing my relatives. If I don't fight this war, then I will be misunderstood. So both ways I am a loser. So he had that lose-lose situation in his mind. And Bhagavan wants to show him, Arjuna, your situation is not a lose-lose situation. It is a win-win situation. When you see this in your life, that what you are facing now is a win-win situation, then you get energy to face the situation. We make ourselves weak by this lose-lose mode of mind. We evaluate situation wrongly. Situation is the same. Our evaluation will decide whether we will be facing it bravely or we will be facing it in a very meek manner, in a very coward manner, or in a very depressed manner. People will say, "Kya kare, Swamiji, life is like this. Chalta hai, I am handling." That is one thing. Other thing is, I am blessed to have the situation which is invoking strength in me. If you see in that manner, even if I lose, I will have lessons to be learned. So it is not a loss really. People will call me a loser, but I will call myself a learner. And what can depress you? If you have the mind that whatever be the outcome, I am not going to be a loser, I am going to be a winner only. I am going to be a gainer only, not the loser. Then you will be able to handle the situation in much better way. So never look upon any situation as the lose-lose situation. See it as a win-win situation. If your marriage works well, win. If it doesn't work well, you will get vairagya. You will become a better sadhaka. Both ways. So don't be afraid of married life. Face it well. So it works well, you are lucky. You would have happy married life. It doesn't work also good. Pariksha lokan karmachitan nirveda mayat. So vairagya. So every situation you handle with this win-win mode. And that's what Bhagavan says. Hatova prapsyasi swargam. If you are killed, Arjuna, in this war, you will attain heaven. Because after killing, what will happen? You will have some janma and you will have a better janma. Swargam prapsyasi. And jitva va bhokshase mahi. If you are not killed and you are winning this war, because only two possibilities. Either you are killed or you will win the war. It is not that you are not killed and you will be losing the war. That is not going to happen. So, if you are not killed means you will be winning. So, Jitva, having won this fight, Bhokshase Mahim, you will enjoy the entire world, all the comforts you will have. This is from Laukika Drishti, which is not the main vision of Bhagavan. But from a particular angle, also you do not have basis for sorrow. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Arjuna, both ways you are win-win. You have a win-win situation. Tasma, therefore, means in doing what is to be done, you have win-win situation. In running away from this world, you have lose-lose situation. Therefore, Uttishta, get up Arjuna. And why Bhagavan is telling get up? Because Arjuna was sitting on the chariot. And fighting is not to be done like sitting in the chariot, you throw the arrow. No, he has to get up and then fight. Therefore, sitting down on the chariot is a sign of withdrawal. Getting up is a sign of getting ready to do what is to be done. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Uttishta, get up. And Arjuna said, I will get up and go to Rishikesh. Therefore, you can get up for that also. Therefore, said, no. Yuddhaya krita nishchayaha. Having done the nishchaya, determination for Yuddhaya, for doing your duty, which is fighting this war. So, having done the resolve, having made this decision, having this determination of fighting this war, you get up. Means you get up and do what is to be done. See, more you remain in that depressed mode, more you will become weaker. As you remain in depressed mode for longer time it will take to get out of it. So earlier is better. So it is like, you have decided to get up at 4 o'clock and you get up at 4:30. Oh, 4:30, why did I get up half an hour late, half an hour late? What to do? What? If you are thinking like this, and then your ability to get up will be less and less. At least 4:30 you get up. Instead of remaining in the bed, regretting and this cursing oneself, get up. So Bhagavan says, Yuddhaya Krita Nishchayaha. Having done a resolve for doing your duty, Arjuna, you get up. And Bhagavan is telling everybody that don't remain in that lethargic mood, depressed mood. You just get up and just focus on doing what is to be done. One simple principle in life to be successful is just keep doing what is to be done. Just keep doing what is to be done. Instead of remaining stuck with the situation, cursing people, feeling sorry, all this, just focus on that. But what is to be done? Like, that Nike or something, no? Just do it. Just do it. Just do what is to be done. Just do it, not anything. Just do what is to be done. Every situation you ask this question. What is expected of me in this situation? Let me focus on that. Even if there is some bereavement or anything, you can have some, legitimate, there is feeling of losing somebody, missing somebody, understandable. But don't remain stuck with that. Ask this question. In this situation, what will be the best thing? In fact, I sometimes tell people that some people have so much grief of losing somebody. I said, you know what you do? Your best tribute to that person is you do what that person used to like to do. Whatever cause was dear to that person, that cause you contribute. That cause you get involved. That is the right way of, handling the loss. Instead of remaining stuck in the grief, you just focus on that. I love that person. So what is the expression? Healthy expression of my love to that person. Let me get involved in something which you used to like. That's a nice way of handling this loss. So similarly, every time ask this question, what is to be done? And Swamiji, in this situation, nothing can be done for that person. Then pray. Pray for the person. But always focus on what is to be done. Not on reaction, but focus on action. That is the message given in this shloka. And in the next shloka, Bhagavan will say, when you are doing what is to be done, what should be your attitude towards the outcome? Those details we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.